Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Gungeon. In The Gungeon, I'd like to thank everyone first for the likes, subscribes, and comments. If you can continue to do that, that would be great. And also, if you can put it in the comments that you did follow and that you subscribed, that would be wonderful because it does help my channel out. And also, if you can head over to my channel on TikTok, it's at Gungeon101 on TikTok. That would be great too, because then that gives me more views there. So, I'd like to start out first by giving a little shout out to Colorado. Let's help them, everyone in the gun community. I hear there's some gun laws trying to be passed, and I think it would hurt a lot of small businesses there, and it would affect some of our gun owners that we have in Colorado. So if we can give them a little shout out and help them and support behind them, that would be great, because that's what we need to do in this gun community. So today I'd like to talk about something that's really, really cool that I just started working on, and that is cheap gun parts. And you can actually get them cheap. So what I did was I bought, and not everybody can probably afford this, but what I did is I heard in the community of, let's say, 3D printing, that a personal friend that I know does this. But I didn't know that I could do some of the things that I could do. So I went out and bought myself a cheaper 3D printer and wanted to try it for the first time. Well, I did. And guess what? There is so many files, so many things you can do that you can actually make gun parts yourself with a 3D printer, depending upon what kind of filament you use. And there's 5 or 6 different kind of filaments that you can actually use. You can actually use different colors and everything, but it could make parts even cheaper, which was really, really cool. And what you see on the table right here is some of the stuff that we have actually made, me and my wife, when it came to these cheap gun parts. So this is a Punisher foregrip. I don't know if you can actually see the Punisher logo on there. It's right there. But this is a Punisher foregrip that I have here. If you need to zoom in, you can zoom in on it and check it out. But it's actually a Punisher foregrip. You can either make these for an M-lock or a Picatinny rail, depending upon what you want. And I printed off actually 2 of these because I liked them, because I'm going to put 2 of them on my AR. I'm going to put one on this one here, and I'm going to put one on that one there. Okay, they actually hold up really, really good. So this hardly cost me any money. Yeah, the 3D printer, you can get them on a marketplace or like a Craigslist or something like that. If you have that in your town, you can get them for about $100. I've even seen some for 75 bucks. Well, yeah, you might expend, that initial investment on buying the printer, but you can do endless things with it. So like I said, right now I've printed these grips, and the filament, which will last you a very, very long time on these. You can make hundreds of things on just one spool of filament. So I made these, and they're actually pretty sturdy grips, and they're great little foregrips, and I made it for my ARs. And you can make it with different kind of things, like I said, M-lock rails, Picatinny rails, it just kind of depends. You can make different kind of grips. You can do even 1911 grips. As you see here, I made some Punisher AR-15 grips too, with the little Punisher logo that's right up top there. You can actually make it. It actually feels pretty good in the hand. Yeah, you can add some things to it, and maybe some different, kind of grippy parts here, but it's great. I can actually feel, and it doesn't feel bad whatsoever. It's actually really, really cool. And here's another set that I made actually with a 3D printer too. A little thicker filament, but this is a revolver grip. And actually you can even make the little screw holes inside of it actually are cut out for it while it's doing the printing. So I started making these and started to see how cool it actually was. Then I said, well, let me go a little bit further, because I wanted some other stuff too. So then I proceeded to print this, which is brass knuckles. And it's the Punisher symbol in the center of the brass knuckles. As you can see, I do like the Punisher, so a lot of my little odds and ends I make do have Punisher stuff on it. So what I'm going to start doing actually is dressing some of my ARs or what have you with these parts that I'm making with this 3D printer. And it's saving me so much, it's unreal. You can get a roll of filament and make a ton of this stuff for 25 bucks, which you can't buy foregrips from Magpul or anywhere else for 25 bucks. You can, but it's 25 bucks for one. I've made 2 of these, and they are strong as can be. And hard, like I said, depending on the filament that you actually use, which there's different kind of filaments, you can make all kinds of things. This here too, it's hard. Everything is hard. It's actually got the Punisher logo down there too. And if you look at these, same kind. You can make them for revolvers. And before, I even showed you a firearm that I actually did make with my printer, and that was a .44 Magnum. That was a revolver that I showed past I had it kind of sitting up here, and actually we made this Halo helmet here too. That was actually one of the first things we actually printed because I like Halo. I think it's pretty good, and I got this kind of TriStar bullpup that looks like one of the Halo firearms there in the show. But you can make so many things. You can make rails, you can make scope mounts, you can make different kind of mounts, you can make flashlight mounts, you can make so many parts for your firearms, and even for airsoft you can make a ton. They make suppressors for airsoft. I mean, I saw some of the stuff that was coming up, and my God, I mean, it's endless on what you can actually print, and it could save you a lot of money. Yes, like I say, you're going to get that first initial investment if you can find a good used printer. But if you can't, Amazon has good prices on some of their printers too. I recommend certain ones. If you're going to start out, one of the Enders made by Creality, they're about $150. Sometimes you might even be able to get them less on the used market. I picked up 3 printers actually, which are really good ones. They're called Anycubics, and I picked those up. I got 3 of them for $150 on Facebook Marketplace. Really, it was really cool. You know, all 3 of these, one of these alone are $400, but I picked it up cheap, and they all work phenomenally. This is what one of the printers made so far, so I can't go wrong with that at all. I also made another set of these, but with a different logo on it. I like Five Finger Death Punch too. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with that band, but I like them too, and I made their logo inside of the brass knuckle over here. It actually looks really good. But look at the spikes on here, and these things actually are really, they're really pointy. They actually, especially on the Five Finger Death Punch one that I have, they are completely pointy. And I mean, you can do a little damage if you had to do a little damage as a self-defense weapon. And it's not heavy, and as you see, I can put this in my hand, which is pretty good, and use it for what I need to use. It's light. It's, like I said, it's not heavy. You can keep it anywhere you want. Hell, you can keep it in your car. You can keep it on you. The detecting's not going to really go off if you walk into a store or anything, so, because it's just made out of this hard filament that they use. And like I said, there's multiple filaments that you can use for this. So, you know what? Give it a try. It's endless on what's on here. And the more and more I look every day on this, on making some of these things, it's getting really, really, really good out here. And I'm talking really good. The parts lists are endless that you can do. And they can add color, you can do different things, dress up some of your ARs and put different things on it. Hell, they even make mags. Right now I'm in the process of making 2 speed loaders, one for my Taurus TX22 that I had purchased just recently, and I'll show you later on. One for a 9mm that I have. I mean, they make even speed loaders. I mean, it is unreal on what you can actually print on these machines. It's really, really cool. And like I said, and I hate to say it again, but the initial investment might cost you a little bit, but think about it. If you're spending $150, maybe $200 on a machine, but yet you can save money on all these, figure 20, 40, 60, 80. So you're looking at $100 and probably more, because I've seen my Magpul stuff I bought for some of my firearms are a little bit more than that. They're like $24.99. But just think about it. For the initial investment and what you can actually print is unreal. And then a set of these, the real ones, the metal ones, which are better, but these can do just as much damage. It doesn't take much for self-defense. These can do just as much damage. So the thoughts are endless on this, and even when they're coming out with so many stuff with airsoft, and I know people say that, well, airsoft. Hey, let me tell you something. Airsoft, some of the FPS that's on airsoft, I saw one the other day, it was like 700 FPS. Can you imagine that? Feet per second, that kind of strength. Matter of fact, I just recently purchased one from Davidson's. They're one of my wholesalers that I use. It's an Umerix. It's called Umerix again. I might have pronounced that wrong, but it just came in today along with some ammo, and I have it in the box. I haven't opened it up yet. I'll show you here soon. But it's endless on even firearms that you can make. I mean, almost replicas. And yeah, some of them can do certain things, and it kind of depends on how you can put springs in them. You can do all kinds of things where they fire little projectiles. It's just, I mean, they almost clone Glocks. They clone Walters. I mean, they clone Tauruses. You name it. It is endless. When you go on to check this out on these sites, to check out 3D printing sites, there's pages and pages of stuff that can be made. And heck, if I can make a suppressor, and I'm getting ready to do it for an airsoft gun because I want to see what it does. I have somebody I know who made one, and it worked phenomenal. I actually watched it shoot, and it was just, it was great. It was cool. It shot not only airsoft, it shot BBs through it, it shot pellets through it, and I mean, it was unreal, and it looks just like a real can. That was the cool part of it all, is that this 3D printing is unreal if you learn. And yes, there's a learning curve in the beginning, might frustrate you a little bit, but gosh guys, if we can make cheap parts for our guns and they hold up and they last, and I'll let you know if some of these held up. I made a set of one of my revolver ones already, and I actually put it on one of my firearms already, and it actually worked. My 22 that I have, actually it is this one over here. Well, no, not that one. That one there. I put it on that firearm there, and it worked great. It held up. I shot probably right around 200 to 300 rounds to it, and it didn't do anything wrong. And I mean, you can put some Talon stuff on here, you know, and make this a little bit better. You need to make it a little feel better on your hands. But you know what? This way this filament is, it's nice and smooth. It doesn't hurt at all. And think about it. Me bringing it up doesn't hurt whatsoever. So the stuff is endless that you can do with a 3D printer. And I think at times, and here in the future, this is going to become really, really popular. And it has already, and it's kicked off already. And I know some people out here that are actually working on different things that are in the print world that I just recently met. Matter of fact, I got a person right now, a friend of mine, who's actually making me a full-size Halo helmet where I can actually put it on my head to actually look like the one that was made by Jazzwares. And he's making me one of the guns in Halo, and he's making me also the Halo sword, which is going to light up through it and everything. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless when it comes to this. I mean, you can even make home things if you need it. Heck, I saw somebody made a part to go on their tree stand. I mean, really, when they were hunting. You can't go wrong with that. So the stuff is endless, and the weaponry that you can make with this, with some of this filament that you use in these 3D printers, is great. And like I said, a great starting printer that I recommend to everybody is an Ender. Could be an Ender 3 made by Creality. They're great beginner printers. They're easy to put together. They're actually, the filament is not expensive. I mean, as you get up higher in printers, yeah, they get more technical and there's more to them, and the filament can go up a little bit, but right now Amazon is the best place to buy your filament from, and they have all kinds of different things and different makes of filament that you can have, and most of these machines take about 4 or 5 different kind of filaments. In this, I used a PLA filament, which is a stronger, tougher filament that doesn't break down very easy, and you can actually scale up and scale down. So let's say you wanted to scale this up or scale it down, you can actually scale it up to the tallness you want. You can scale it down. If you needed something for, something for a scope mount and you need to scale it up or scale it down, you can do that too. So the possibilities when it comes to firearms and 3D printing is endless. I mean, it is endless. And I'm just learning it all myself, but I wanted to give everyone a shout out about it and talk about it a little bit to say that we don't have to pay some of these big prices when it comes to the name brands. Hell, we can print them up ourselves. Like I said, it is an initial investment. Not expensive, but it is an initial investment. And if you check out maybe your pawn shops or somebody who might be on Facebook Marketplace or something to that nature, if you have a Craigslist in your town, look, and you can work out deals with everybody. And like I said, I worked out deals. 3 printers, I paid $150 for all 3, and these are almost $400 printers a piece. So that initial $150, like I said, that I spent, if you sit and add up what I've done here so far, I'm almost there. The Halo helmet, same thing, I'm almost there. And a couple of the other things that we've printed in our house that you can actually use for different things, I'm almost there. And if you would have added all this up, it would have cost you a lot of money if it would have came from, Magpul or one of the other ones. So anyway, I'd like to just talk about it a little bit, and I'd like to thank everyone again for the likes, subscribes, and comments. If you can continue to do that, and if you do subscribe, do me a favor and please comment it. Hit the comment button, say that you did subscribe, because it will help out my channel. And also, if you can head over to TikTok and check me out at Gungeon101 on TikTok. I'll do a little short of little funny things that I have in here that I'll buy every now and then, and I'll show it to you, and you'll have fun. And some of the shirts, I'm not very what they call politically correct, I guess some people call it. So some of the shirts I wear, I'm not very politically correct. So I kind of show those little shorts on TikTok. I can't go all the way because TikTok does not allow you to show firearms, so I can't really show them what's in here. But I can show other things that is really, really cool, some things that I've gotten. You'll see some really neat little things that I haven't shown you so far in this room. So head over to my TikTok channel, at Gungeon101. You'll see me. Anyway, guys, that's it for this episode of The Gungeon. I'd like to thank everyone again for the likes, subscribes, and comments. Peace out from The Gungeon.